So here's the founder of the Kievan Rus. This is the founder of the Keevan Rus. He's got that stupid helmet with the Kaiser with the pointed. He's got that stupid face with that stupid catfish goddamn mustache and the what kind of wig? What kind of was it? Byzantine? Was that a staff? What is this? This is the king. This is the George Washington, the John Adams of the Russian people. You want to go back to the Kievan Rus? It's Novgorodsky. Vadim Novgorodsky is going to fight against these people. Rurik. But Rurik is the first Swedish Viking. He's going to take Novgorod in 862. And then Oleg is going to take Keev in 882. So Igor is the son. Oleg is the second king. And since Igor was too young to run things, then King Rurik, he dies 879. He gives the kingdom to this guy, Oleg, King Oleg. And he says, Oleg, take care of my son, but you get the kingdom, and you get the kingdom until my son, is old enough to run things. And he was very shisty, very tricky. He goes to Keev, and there's people there named Askold and Dur. Askold and Dur, and people don't know if they're Swedish Vikings or if they're Slavic people, the Drevlians. They don't know who Askold and Dur is. But he goes down to Keev, and he says, hey, Askold and Dur, what's going on? Did you know that this is the king? He points to Igor, who's like 3 years old. And the guys are like, well, what's your point? And he's like, well, my point is this. And then he tells the soldiers that's hiding behind the bushes to attack and kill Askold and Dur. And then he takes over Keev. He takes over Keev. That is the founder right there of the Russian people. When they say, oh, back in the glory of the Russian people, back in the glorious 800s and the 900s AD, back when the Ukrainians and the Russians were together in the 800s and the 900s, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about this guy right here, King Oleg. King Oleg. So I just want to tell, a little story about these people, right? So he's going to take over Keev, and then the Kievan Rus begins in 882. And then Igor is going to run after him. So Igor would be the third president. So he would be like the Thomas Jefferson, right? So George Washington is Rurik. This would be John Adams. He's the second, not president. He's a czar. He don't believe in constitutions or democracy or republic or, elections or caucuses or, any kind of anything like that. He's in charge. Look at that catfish fucking mustache. Look at that. Look at those long, look at that, that suit of armor. Look at that nice suit of armor. He's clearly the one in charge. I mean, with a suit of armor like that, how can you deny that this is your king? This is your god. Russia, this is who you are, Russia. Eastern Slav Swedish Viking. That's a Swedish Viking. That's a Swedish Viking if I've ever saw one. So, quick story. You got Igor, right? The third Tsar of the Kievan Rus. Igor's going around getting, some taxes from the Drevlians. And he kept on getting taxes. He got taxes 2 times in 1 month. The American Revolution was about taxation without representation. So you got the Drevlians who's getting taxed. No representation from these goddamn Swedish Vikings. So what do? They take Igor and they tie one leg up to a birch tree. They bend 2 birch trees over, and then they tie one leg to one birch tree and one leg to another birch tree, and then they cut the ropes, and then the birch trees, spring back up, and then that rips Igor in half. That rips the fuck out of Igor. So the Drevlians are the native Ukrainians. So the native Ukrainians didn't like the fucking Swedish Vikings, these Oleg, Olga, Rurik motherfuckers, these Igor motherfuckers, conquering them and telling them that they're the ones that run shit. You run shit around here? I don't think so. Here, tie his leg up to a birch tree. We'll see how well he runs. Let's see how he controls let's see how he controls physics. Now, go ahead. Go ahead and pray to Thor. Who do you pray to? You fucking Viking pieces of shit. So, yeah, there you go. That's the founding of Russia. The founding of Russia, the great Rurik, right? The great George Washington, who's going to conquer Novgorod and Ladoga. And when they conquered Novgorod, they tried to rebel, right? The Slovenian people, the Eastern Slavs, they didn't want to be conquered. Vadim the Brave tried to fight back. It takes a year or two. 862 is when I guess he lands and says, I'm king. But it was like 864 is when he actually finally conquers the damn thing because of Vadim the Brave. So it wasn't like that, he just sailed in and said, I'm king, and they just accepted it. Vadim the Brave said, fuck you. So the Slovenian people, the native Slovenian people, the native Novgorodskians said, fuck you motherfuckers. The Polans, the Polani, probably the Drevlians too. So yeah, the Drevlians didn't take kindly to Igor taxing them 2 times in 1 month. Nah, we don't take kindly to that shit. So the Drevlians are just one of the many native Ukrainian tribes who fought against the oppression of Oleg, Igor, Olga, Rurik, the Swedish Vikings. And just to give you a sense of who these people, Ivan the Terrible, this is Ivan the Third and Ivan the Fourth, both sack Novgorod. So Keev isn't the historic homeland for the Russian people. Novgorod is, or Ladoga, Novgorod. But what is Ivan the Terrible going to do to Novgorod? He's a Muscovite, so he comes out of Moscow. What does he do to Novgorod? He fucking kills the shit out of them. They say between 1,000 to 60,000, so that's fantastic body count right there. But that's both Ivan the Third and then Ivan the Fourth. So if these are native Russian people and they're happy to have these Russian fucking czars conquering them, how come they fight against them? How come he was so scared that they were going to go over to Lithuania's side? He had to kill the shit out of everybody, or he had to deport half of them. He took half of them and, shipped them to central, Russia somewhere. Rurik conquered Novgorod in 862. Vadim the Brave didn't want that shit to happen. And then Ivan the Third, Ivan the Fourth, Ivan the Terrible, they're going to conquer, sack Novgorod, the massacre of Novgorod. And incredible, if you kill the shit out of a city, that city's yours. The city's not yours. You should never fucking come back again, you pile of shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Some people could, be rude and give you rude faces and shit. But what? They've never pulled a Putin. They never fucking pulled a Oprich Nina and Ivan the Terrible. They never pulled an Ivan the fucking Terrible. They never pulled a Rurik or an Oleg or a Keevan Rus. So yeah, Oleg straight up killed them fucking Durin ass cold. Straight up killed him. Said, hey, here's your king. This, 2 or 3 year old? Yeah, well, he's only a toddler for now, so what do you say? Oh, you're the regent, so you're saying the king. That's right. I'm the king. Okay, we recognize it. That's cool. Get him. Wait, no, we said we recognize. It doesn't matter. This is a coup d'etat. Man, you're really stealing my thunder here. So that fucking catfish fuck goes to Keev and he just kills 2 fucking people and says, I'm in charge now. And then that's the beginning of the Russian people. And where the hell they come from? The way the Primary Chronicle, they make it sound like they were asked, like the Eastern Slavic, the Slovenian people are like, please, we need someone to run over, to rule over us, run over us, whatever. We need someone to oppress us and tell us what to do. We're afraid of freedom. We just need to be told what to do. We just need to be, just shut our mouths and we just need to be told what to do. Yeah, right, like they begged for them, like they asked for them. Shut the fuck up. So the goddamn Swedish Vikings were, conquering England. They were conquering Iceland and Greenland. They were conquering every fucking place all over the fucking world. So this is about the time that they were doing that. And then how come the Oleg, that fucking catfish motherfucker, he don't look nothing like that motherfucking fat fucking bloated,